Okay. I know we're live now. Wait, I want Bulela.
You can't control everything. To me.
Why usimila ka chomi yaka?
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh. Oh man. Oh no, man. Not for my
For the first time on Makgarebe Amahikeng, for the first time ever, probably in your life, to me, that you're talking to a doctor while your dad's song is playing in background. This is the first. It has happened before, but look, not on an interview. Everyone kawena. Not interview a doctor. Can we get that right, please? Oh man, welcome back to the second part of our conversation. Yeah, Makgarebe story. Tonight, we are doing things not according to how we want, but it feels like there's a bigger plan in terms of the conversation that we're having tonight. Tonight, we're speaking to Tumi Rabanye. Tumi Rabanye, we are featuring her on Makgarebe story as one of the trailblazers from Mahikeng. Tumi is phenomenal. To me, we have read your bio, but the most important thing that we want to bring into the second part of our conversation, because the first part, look, load shedding happened to us. And in 2020, when it happens in COVID context, we come back stronger and say, let's do this until we get it right. Tumi, welcome back. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for your time tonight. We have just heard that song. I know you said I shouldn't do it, but I did it.
You did it.
Where does that take you, Khanyen?
TV. Okay, so for perspective, I mean, Ungetang for me is part of a bigger story, bigger picture. I was 6 years old when that track was made. So naturally, I mean, I have a 6-year-old child now. You don't know what's going on, and quite frankly, before that, you've experienced many other attempts, maybe, or many other personal conversations, which is really what I had with my dad. So Ungesang, in a weird way, ne, is a voyeuristic like journey into Rex Rabanye. But to me, ke daddy. Ke papaka. And in many ways, ke lesego. In my sister and my brother, I wish they were here. They could say something, because I think they have deeper insight. But Unketsang is actually, in my books, because I'm a nerd, I think, is garnish over a career that started, a formal career in music that started in 1969. So I get it, but there's so much more. And I suppose the concluding thought would be, if any one of the people that I've worked with will recall, I say, if my father were half the if he applied himself as an artist in the way that he did as a father, my gosh, But guess what? He focused on us.
Oh man.
So yeah, really seho.
Thank you for allowing me to go there with you, because many people don't know the fact that you want to appear as just Tumi Rabanye, until somebody pays attention and says, emanyano scan rob,
It's
and
kind of funny.
thank you so much for that.
Mm,
This is quite special. This is quite special for us who, hence I'm saying, actually I actually sent you something last night, remember, where I
mm,
saw it on Twitter,
mm.
and they had the song. It was a tweet from a lady who said, Ish, wedding season is back. We can't wait
Exactly
for the
right.
weekend. And I saw that. I'm like, what is it to me? To me wants me to pretend that, look, I don't see that she is. I can't downplay that, to me. And I like how you say, ke daddy, ke
Mm,
papa, not for wa ikgantsha,
mm,
that's your story. And
mm.
that's special. That is really special. Thank you for that. So now let's talk about then you being a daughter and musician. How does that influence how you look at music and how you consuming music now? And also I like how you speak about the 2 a.m. Rehearsals. How has that shaped the person you are, music? What's happening when we think about Tumi Rabanye?
Wabona ke a phaphatha?
Yeah.
I've got so many people to acknowledge and thank for tolerating us as a family. First of all, go Unit 5. Me, Georgina, our neighbor, go gae re godile re na le music room. Okay? The audio and the it wasn't soundproof, it wasn't set up correctly. So which meant that Daddy had an idea.
What was I
Yeah,
name?
bona. Bona ka 2 a.m. ka 5 a.m. like he's playing and he's playing to an audience. So I have to acknowledge not our home, but like people outside of us that had to handle us. But you know what's odd, Wena, Faith? Kore, nane ki itakere lelapa lengwe le lengwe le rata mmino ka tsela e nna ke ne ke itse mmino. And so I genuinely thought, like, at any point in my home there were 6 radios playing in 6 different rooms. The fact that there's 6 different rooms as an option, I was oblivious to. But I recognize now how lucky and privileged I was. But yeah, there were 6 different rooms and 3 TVs playing simultaneously. So it was up to you, like, what are you listening to? Like, right? And then later on in life, when I say later on in life, I mean like in my teens, I fell in love with jazz. I personally fell in love with jazz. Daddy didn't understand how I have fallen in love with jazz without him teaching me.
Wow.
And that came from the other mothers that surrounded me. A mom that taught me jazz in particular was Mama Vivi Tlapi. who lived close to me, and Tumi Sang, her daughter, is my childhood friend, literally from like as far as I can recall. And so a relationship with Limino and art was, first of all, art paid my school fees.
Love that. Love that. That's powerful.
And it did. I need that to be understood. I needed to be understood that a creative parent, particularly a father that is a creative, is absolutely like, he's absolutely a parent, right? Because I experienced the dissonance a lot when I came to Joburg. When I was in Mafikeng, I didn't have to think about it. I also got to learn from my parents that creativity and talent does not equate to fame. And so you can be talented and discreet, and that's also okay.
I love that. So creativity and talent doesn't creativity and talent does not equate to fame.
Yeah.
And you can be creative and discreet about it and still be good at what you do.
And it's important. Itlotle. Fa e le seo se batlang, diragatsa jalo. And then I subsequently learned this when I worked as a brand manager for SABC1, that fame and fortune are not one and the same. Be clear. Do you desire fame? And that's okay. Do you desire fortune? And that's okay. Do you desire to combine them?
That's still an option. That's still
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and that's a different conversation. Because what I found was so many people desired fame without talent, thinking it would lead them to fortune. And kana gongwe go itsege ga go buse moputso, go itsege ga go re khumo kana, right? You can be famous and poor, right? And not infamous, by the way. You can actually genuinely be famous, but still poor. And then the other thing that my parents taught me, my daughter's coming, just by the way, to kiss me goodnight. But what my parents taught me was, it was an option to support creative agenda. Because, by the way, very little known fact, Rex comes from his full name, Morake. Right? And my mom and dad were next door neighbors. So my dad really did marry the girl next door. And and how they related to each other and how I was raised was there was no Rex Rabanye in my home. Ne go na le Morake. And only now, later, I'm doing the work of being Rex's daughter, as if I ke ngwana ga Morake.
I love that, Tumi. I love the we could have paid a fortune for this Inside White. How lucky are we to be getting this tonight? You know, you just go hang on Rex. And I told you there's a friend of mine who's on radio, and he uses your dad's track as Baby
Yeah.
Tangan.
Teleleke.
You know,
Yeah.
and I remember I would hear the song and think, hey, but Mamudim. You know, and today to get that insight, yeah, about the guy who married the girl next door. Beautiful. What a beautiful story. I suppose we can talk the whole night. And now I have the pleasure that I have is when we switch off. You know, I'm gonna come and just sit and listen to the story. What a beautiful way. I want us to then dial into this week, or was it last week, when Bob passed on.
Oh.
There's a beautiful tribute to me, that you posted. Do you want to share a bit about that and touch on the influence having people like him in your life? Remember, we're still talking about your love for music and how everything now fits in together.
Oh, dude. So first of all, I'm wearing a black jacket, white shirt. What fell off was the bow tie.
Beautiful.
But I was going to wear this in tribute to Bob. Little did I know that a 10-year-old Tumi Rabanye ko Mafikeng, introduced to the world of Bob Mabena through my other brother, Aldrin Mohoti, and the other fathers in my life, Tapelo Tipe, Abu Edgar Dikole. Little did I know that I was surrounded by such a constellation. Yeah, no. Ha ke reditse George Manyosi a bua ka tsela e ene le Bobo ba itsile ya go kopana gore e be ba le ko Mafikeng ka 1989, and then e be ba ira breakfast show between 89 and 90. I couldn't process it because I was like between the ages of 9 and 10, and they put me on radio, and I did this jingle for them, and I was a kid, right? I mean, at that age. So I was doing this jingle with two other ladies, and my gosh, Nerliko BRS, Rira, take one, take two, take three. Yeah! Kanti.
Kanti.
Kanti. Akere. And selo se ba nthusitseng ka sone ke wa itse gongwe you know, but ba eletsa go itsewi. You know, there's a craving for fame sometimes that happens that actually gets in the way of your other things. So there I was a little kid, finished, done. The craving for fame, done, finished. Because my father would drive me to school and I could hear my voice on the radio. I didn't need to be famous.
Ha ke sure gore ke ya kae after mo.
Years down the
wow.
line, I would have a chat with. I get it, but I like jazz.
So to me, let's just help those who perhaps missed it, Gostwaning. So you're saying at the age of 10, you did a jingle for Bob Mabena and George Manyosi's show.
George Manyosi.
Yes. Woo, do me. Okay, so jingle, two legends, a moment that people have been talking about this whole week. When they looked at his life, went back to Bob Recording Studios, Radio Bob, and you are here telling us that you were all part of that mix.
I didn't even realize it. I took it for granted.
You have your famous dad now driving you to school, and you're just oblivious of this whole thing.
I had no idea. I had no idea.
And I get it how you now talk about at that age, you've already done the need to be famous because we go to the radio. Look, let's move on to the next thing. Bring on the next big thing that needs to happen in this lifetime, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to reconnect on my Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, about that next thing. So in my books, the next thing is, and you, if you know me personally, you've probably been frustrated by my desire for deep and meaningful conversation, even in the middle
what
of
we're having. The tempo tonight, we're having a taste of that, right? Dialing us down. Me, I invited you thinking you would just give me surface stuff. Now you keep taking us offats. Yes.
So ke rata go tlotla, you know, boammaaruri gore ke rata go tlotla, ke rata monate wa puo, ke rata go akanya, ke rata, you know, so all that other stuff, I get it. And I'm really bad, by the way, like in a public setting, I'm bad at conforming to what is expected of me. So here were these people that, for me, in my foundation, said I could.
I love
and
that.
In my other jobs, SABC One, as a brand manager, if you can imagine, like I'm 21. No, sorry, not 21. No. I am 25 into 27, but my job is to understand entertainment.
Sure.
Right? Yeah, catering for a living.
Love that. What did you expect? This thing comes full circle.
It's weird because I didn't think about it that way. Yeah. I thought about it as, yo, I get it, I love it. Yes. It turns out like I'm at parties literally from a Tuesday to Sunday. And I get it. It's fun. But when it's over and that chapter's over, it must be over. You can't hang on to it. And it was kind and fulfilling. Ne go le monate gore wena.
Ma wena.
Ma wena. E ne le disama. But I also had to do serious things. In my time at the summers, it turned out I was my father's daughter. And so he was due to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award, but because we were private people, they couldn't find information on him. Guess what? Then I arrived. And that became part of my work. Talk about your father. Okay? Cool. And then further down the line, as a brand manager, getting involved in casting decisions, it was unheard of. But I knew from a marketing perspective that certain personalities and archetypes work well. So get involved. And so I did that. Done. So for me, hey, I can sort of ke go araba sentle.
Because
mme tsela eo ya go rata one, dipapatso, two, ditiragatso, and the overarching theme being dikatara. This idea ya gore botshelo jo ga bona letseno le seriti. You know, go ya ka gore midi, did I say
the roots, yeah, the foundation and the roots, yeah.
Go ya ka midi ya lelapa. Nna ke tswile ko meding e siameng yaanong ke gone ke bonang le teng gore kante medi e ne sa tshameke.
It had gone deep. It had gone deep to me, and I'm so grateful for how you've again allowed us to open that door and be able to see everything coming full circle. Because like I said, from a distance and without having these kind of conversations, it's so easy to assume a lot of things. But tonight I appreciate how you've brought everything together. And I want us perhaps as we now maybe close this interview, I want us to go to the work that you do. Remember before we got cut off load shedding, you spoke about the fact that you used to walk as a 17-year-old, or when you were in high school, you'd walk to Molaposan to go and buy the financial mail. And through that trip, you were exposed to financial mail, to the ad focus, and fast forward many years later, you are now chairing the jury. I think, like I said, for me, the essence is through that to say how everything comes back full circle. Let's talk about your role as jury chair and what would you say to someone who has a wild dream or who does not have the language or is starting to get the language about where they want to go. Let's just talk to that, Jenny, as a way of just rounding up how awesome your career has been and your life, because you opened us and shared about your life tonight.
So about awesome, there's no such thing. So get over that. Okay, so get that out the window.
Awesome.
Awesome, no. If, or rather, let me say, if awesome ili vanilla.
Yeah.
And you know, we had this chat. Highly sweet, tlogela fao mothaka kgaitsadi ke gona dilo tseo a re bue ka tsela di mmitlwa a kere
yona ya dikgaruru.
But what would I say about this journey and what it takes to get here? That's what I'm taking out. Just do the work, man. I can't say anything else. Waitsure fa dipone di tima. Nna le wena re ka gorobala. Ga se ka phoso gore be re dira se re se dirang ke gore re semeletse and especially ko gae, you know, that's most important, you know, ko gae bokoa jo ke bo bona ke gore ko gae re ithare re lefatshe le simolola ebile le fella ko fa re ithutile ko university ya ko Northwest. We can't believe that no one can accept us. Kante ha re ithuta ba bangwe fa re ithuta dipuo tsa bone mme re itlhalosa ka tsa rona. It's massive. And, you know, people talk about self-belief, but actually self-belief also emanates from massive practice because you know you can. You know what I mean? It's like lifting weights. It's heavy initially until you realize, hey, man, yeah. Yeah. I'm a mother of a 6-year-old child now, and I'm teaching her to read. And one day at a time, we go through cat. Tomorrow, she'll understand girl. Have the humility to learn. And then have the humility to be taught.
Wow.
That's it.
Have the humility to learn and have the humility to be taught. Tumi Rabanye, I am forever grateful for this conversation.
You know what it took.
Rooting for you.
Le how work at name, listening.
You know, people don't know that this request happened 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Tumi kept on saying, hey, she even wanted to see, I want to control the images. I was like, you know what, girl, you don't know. I don't sprint. Marathon this thing. One day at a time. You know, just walk.
You know that question that you just asked me? I want you to answer it. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on, founder of Makgarebe.
Yo, Tumi. The question, Erin, now that you're attending this interview, what's your question? Let's hear.
What does it take to do this? To do this for the long haul? Ma. I
agree, Liwena, and I also want to say that to say you have to put in the work. You have to believe that it's possible, because at some point life will send so many things that will tell you that there is no way that this is not going to happen. I think our conversation tonight also adds to that. We tried to have a live session.
I get.
There was absolutely nothing wrong with the technicalities because we were able to get Kumo Lucia, online. I could see other people, I could invite other people, but clearly it was not meant to be this way. We had to take a breather, step back, think about other things that happen in between, and come back stronger. Come back stronger and have the Zoom now coming through to Facebook. It's possible. This is something that would not have happened, but because of persistence, because of believing and trying so many times, sometimes the what happens when you fall, Dumi, it happens in a public space. I could have chosen to say, and those who know me, I'm a perfectionist. I want things to happen. I want to control things in a certain way. But being to your answer, that be prepared or be humble enough to be taught, be humble enough to learn, to say yes, it didn't work, but guess what, when we come back we come back stronger. You take that, you stand up, wait, and you say, okay, but what else is possible? So if re rotloetsa ba bangwe ke gore ha se tsela e leng rosy, rosy how it's up from a distance, but how sheba sentle, that's where you see Mika, that's where you see the work, that's where you see the pain and all of these things. But at the end, one day I think it does get to this point where we're like, the interview, if a deal, and we made it. To me, I love you so much. Thank you so much. When so much everything. I appreciate you.
You have to say, please, tomorrow morning, I am having a chat on Zoom as well. So please join us again.
We did. We actually shared it earlier on the Makgarebe page. It is on there to say those that want to join the conversation. Actually, they should please join the conversation and just hear you. What's up with we stwana se se so gore ha o choma. It's most say go ti really chair Tumi Rabanye, right?
Me go monate ha ke bua Setswana.
You sound like
Yeah,
you just took me back to high.
ke rata thata. Ke rata thata. I always say ke mmagwe ikageng tshika ya kwa Rabanye.
That's how we wrap up. That's how we ended. Le mmagwe ikageng tshika ya kwa Rabanye. Mwah. Thank you, girl. Good
I
night.
love you. Thank
Love,
you.
bye.
I admire
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. Take care, babe.
Bye, babe.